Oh boy, Donkey Kong 64. What an amazing title for the Nintendo 64. I really recommend it for those people who are just now starting. But that's not what we're talking about today in this video. What we're talking about is my top 8 favorite levels in Donkey Kong 64. So let's go ahead and get to the video. Ah yes, this title screen is so nostalgic. Anyway, for number 8, we have Gloomy Galleon. I know this is a common placement, but I actually like this stage. Not as much as I like some of the other stages on this list though. This stage is very interesting. Open this gate and you are introduced to one of the many bodies of adventure. Now, I know what you may be thinking. This is a water level. I've experienced the water temple in Ocarina of Time, so I know this isn't going to be good. Well, this is one of the better type of water levels, because you can actually breathe underwater unlike Super Mario 64. What I think is really neat is how you can increase and decrease the water levels. This is really useful for getting to certain parts of the level. One of my favorite things about this level, though, is definitely the music. I just really enjoy playing the stage and listening to this really cool music. This is a really neat level, but not as good and memorable as the others on this list. So, on to number 7. Now I know you guys may be thinking, why is this on number 7? Well, you gotta remember, this is the top 8 best Donkey Kong 64 levels, not the worst. So, yeah, this is just a compliment, not any malice or anything. Before I go deep into any depth, this music is absolutely wonderful. I really like the jazzy feeling that it has. There's also this really cool glitch that you can do with Donkey Kong or Diddy, where you can go through this wall, as you can see. And you can skip plenty of the level, and you don't even have to get Diddy, because you could just go inside the cave. Or, what you can do is you can just go behind Funky and get that banana with Diddy Kong. But you can get stuck for, just kidding, you can just go through. This mountain here kind of has some sort of a Mumbo's Mountain kind of vibe. It's really cool. Anyway, that's really all I gotta say about this level. It's lower on the list because, you know, it doesn't really have that much of a stands out vibe. It's too simple. But before I get into any other detail, let's go ahead and get to number 6. This stage is definitely far from perfect, but it is absolutely wonderful, and the music is really good too. It cannot be called Crystal Caves without having any crystals inside of it, of course. Well, I guess I could say story of the stage is that this giant Viking thing, like who knows what this is causing some really bad ruckus inside of the Crystal Caves. Basically, as you can see, it is knocking every single rock down, and it is very hectic. You gotta avoid them at all times, and it happens so frequently. I also have to mention how freaking pretty this stage is. I mean, seriously. There's so much detail for a Nintendo 64 game. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Now on to number 5. Alright guys, we are getting on the really good levels in Donkey Kong 64. And this is like one of the best ones out of all of them. But, you know, it has some reasons to be on number 5. When you walk in, the first vibe that you get is that it's going to be a really fun stage on Donkey Kong 64. And that's exactly what it is. What made me really surprised about this stage is how, in this cannon, as you can see, there are these 2 switches, and when you press the nighttime one, the stage will turn to nighttime. And that's actually a really cool feature. Just watch as the time goes faster. Frickin' awesome. The stage turns from relaxing and pretty to very spooky, and the music is also really spooky too. Take a listen. My main gripe about this stage though is the amount of backtracking that you have to do. It's not horrible, but still, it's too much backtracking. Anyways, after you open this gate, you are greeted to this sort of a what's it called, a Oh yeah, right. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes-esque thing. You see, even I couldn't really figure it out at the top of my head because it's so weird. What you do at this point is become hunky chunky and kill these killer tomatoes. Ah yeah, kill them. Enough of the killer tomatoes. As you can see, there's this really tall mushroom tower, and I really like exploring it. There's also this mill which I really like to go in. It's actually a really fun place for like these mini games and these mini bosses, kind of like the spider. Overall, it's a really fun stage, but there's some stuff that's wrong with it. Alright, on to number 4. Okay, so before you guys get any sort of belief that I don't like this stage, just look at where it is. Number 4, that's actually a really good compliment. Anyways, as you can see, this is a pretty cool looking level, and the music is interesting too. Take a listen. This level is really big, and now I'm starting to understand why I needed the expansion pack for this game. And since it's big, they managed to fit a lot of stuff inside of these huge rooms to make it even more, like, non-filler. Not that it was any filler in the first place, but y you get it, okay? Anyway, there's also this block boss right here. Yeah, try and saying that 5 times fast. Anyways, here he is, and he looks really cool. You also have to beat him up as Chunky, Hunky Chunky to be exact. So that's all I can say about this very interesting level. So, yeah, on to number 3. This stage is really unique. Being the last stage of the game, it is really challenging, and you will always have to worry about the timer. Speaking of the timer, the more blueprints you have, the more time you have, and the less you have, you get the point. Anyway, since this is the last level, it has to have some pretty interesting music, and that's exactly what it has. Take a listen. Freaking epic. This stage is full of challenging stuff, like enemies all over the place, and a whole bunch of other obstacles. There's also a really cool factory, as you can see here. Here's a full-scale image. There's just lots to explore here, but you don't really have that much time because, of course, there's a time limit. So anyways, let's go ahead and get to the number 2 best Donkey Kong 64 stage, in my opinion. Angry Aztec. As you can see, the temple surrounding the whole entire level actually looks pretty cool. This is the Egyptian themed level, and I had so much nostalgia for this level as a kid. And the reason why is because I kept on getting stuck on this level, and that's actually something that's really charming about this level. Just the overall design is just nostalgic to me. Every single time I look at it, it makes me feel like wanting to play this game again. Oh no, I have not forgotten about those temples. How can you forget them? Like, seriously, they're so memorable. And that's what I really like about this level. It's very charming and memorable, and the temples just make it a lot more fun. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to my number 1 favorite Donkey Kong 64 level in all time. And the number 1 Donkey Kong 64 stage is Creepy Castle. Now this isn't a really common choice, but seriously, I really love this level. This is a level that I never got to as a young child, but now that I'm 14 and I'm grown up, kind of, I guess, you know, yeah, I can finally experience the spooky things that I have not experienced as a child. And I'm really glad that I didn't experience that, because seriously, I would have had some nightmares because of this awful music. I mean, it's not awful, but it's kind of spooky. Take a listen. Just creepy. I always feel a little bit old while playing this stage, and how I can explain that, I don't know, because, you know, I'm 14 and everything. It's kind of like a me thing. Anyways, enough about me. Let's actually get into the stage. As you can see, it is like some sort of a graveyard slash like manor spooky Halloween level. I don't really know how to explain it, like most of these levels, but still, I just love playing through this level. I could never get tired of it. If there's anybody who does not want to do this, I am willing to go over to your house and do it for you. I will do it 100%. No stop. I mostly love the cave sections in this level though. They're just so dark, spooky, and mysterious, all at the same time. And those three are really cool factors of this level. And oh boy, the music for the ballroom, it is so spooky. Just go ahead and take a listen. There's just something really unsettling and creepy about this, well, creepy castle. Awful pun. Check. Alright, anyways, that is all the time I have for today. And before you guys go, here's an image of the actual castle, because I didn't really show it that much, because the recording that I got from this YouTuber didn't really show that much. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And please comment to tell me what video I should do next in the future. So thank you for watching, and this is Mr. Colossal TV signing out. Peace.